25,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Thank you so much to everyone who's subscribed or watched any of these videos or has been involved in this in any way. It's a real privilege and a pleasure to have got to this point. I think if you told me when I started this channel, however many years ago it was now, that we'd get this far, I'm not sure I would have believed you. It started as a project where I was just uploading videos really for the students that I was teaching at school, setting them homework sometimes to watch those videos to free up a bit more time in class to do problem solving. But as a side benefit, I thought, well, I could get that content out to some other people as well, and to share that teaching that I was doing in what was a pretty exclusive environment in a famous private school in London out to a wider audience. I should say there's not really going to be any maths in this video, so if you're here mostly for the maths, feel free to switch off. But if you've been following the channel and you're interested in a bit of an update on what's going on and maybe what's coming in the future, do hang around and I will tell you a bit more about that. I'd also like to answer a lot more of your questions, not necessarily about individual bits of maths, but if you've got more general questions about studying maths, so that I can make more of these kind of vlog style talking videos, I'd really like to do that, and I'd love to have some of your prompts, so perhaps I could answer a few of your questions. Do pop a question in the comments below if you have something that you'd like me to answer, and over the next few weeks and months I'll start trying to give you some answers to those. In fact, you might have noticed, perhaps about 3 of you, that I've also started putting some of this out on TikTok as well. I haven't got a huge number of followers over there yet, but do search for Mathsaurus there and follow that for some more short content and little bit snippets of results of math challenges and other things and random short thoughts about maths. I think the last time I made one of these videos we'd got to 15,000 subscribers, which I was very happy with as well. That was probably about 18 months ago, and I think in the last 18 months the sort of content that I've been putting out here has changed quite dramatically. So if you have been a long time follower of the channel, thank you so much, and you know, I hope that you've noticed these improvements and these differences. I've invested a lot of money and time into thinking about how to make videos a little bit better, and also getting some equipment to be able to do that. Probably the biggest change you will have noticed over the last year is the online courses website that now goes along with this YouTube channel. So in the past I would put out individual videos. They would sometimes follow a sequence, but I think they just get lost a little bit, those sequences in YouTube. People search for individual videos, I'll see sometimes the third video in a sequence gets loads of views, but the first one hasn't really got very many at all, and that's fine. People are getting the content that they want and is popular, I think. But the online courses have really allowed me to do a couple of things. So it really allows for a much greater depth of content. So you can go over to the free maths challenge courses, for example, that are over at that courses website, and work through a whole challenge paper with me, selecting answers, having hints to the questions followed immediately by the solutions once you've had a go at the question yourself. And it's an experience that I try to design to replicate private tuition as much as possible. I think tuition is actually a really powerful thing. You can get a lot working with someone one-on-one, and I do work with a number of students one-on-one in private tuition, and it's really great to be able to get to know them, to really tailor the experience to that individual student. But it's a very expensive process, and part of the aim of making these courses is to try to get something that replicates that experience a little bit, available in some cases for free, totally free of charge, and in other cases for a fraction of the cost of paying for tuition in that area, for example. So you'll notice that there are loads of free courses over at the Mathsaurus website, but some of them are ones that I've started charging for, and I'm going to say a bit more about that in a second as well. But overall, I think this experience of being able to make something a bit more like a book with videos that you can kind of work through has really made me much more enthusiastic about making this content. Again, I've enjoyed making the content on YouTube, and I think a year or two ago I was maybe just getting a little bit tired of putting out these little snippets of videos, exam questions, putting things out, not always getting much response. And I think this online course format is one that is just much more satisfying to make. And as a sort of side benefit, it allows me to take parts of those online courses and put them out here on YouTube still. So I think a lot of the videos that I've put out over the last year or so have been fragments from those online courses. So you sort of get the best of both worlds. You actually get a much better quality level of free content coming out, and you get the sort of full course experience for those who want it as well. And a lot of people are finding the content directly through those courses as well. I found that teachers in schools are a lot happier to share those free online courses with students, more so than YouTube videos, because the online courses are totally free from advertisements, from distractions. They're something that's quite suitable to work through in a classroom environment. I see 20 or 30 students signing up to those courses at once sometimes, where it's clearly a teacher who has a class in an IT room or on iPads, and they're working through those maths challenge courses in advance of a maths challenge coming up, for example. And that really, I love to see that when I see all of those sign-ups immediately. It's great to understand that the course is being used in that way. So really pleased to see that. And there are also paid upgrades to the courses over there as well, that quite a lot of you have signed up for as well, and I'm really grateful for that. Those courses go into a lot more depth about the topics, and again, much sort of fuller courses. I'm trying my best to put a lot of free content out still as well, but the reality of making more polished content using more expensive materials is that there are costs involved. The course website even that I use to make those online courses charges a relatively high fee over the course of the year, and so without charging something for those courses, I'll be running at a loss, even not including the fact that it takes quite a lot of time to make these. And I think that's the other thing I would say here. I've experimented a lot with making free content and ways of sort of asking for donations. I did try Patreon for a while, and there's lots of ways of doing this, of making this make sense as something that I can put a lot of my time into. But at the end of the day, I think I realised that if you want to ask people for money, you should really give them something in exchange for that. And that's why I think that I really like this online course model. It's a way of me giving still very, very substantial free content, making a course that for most people is absolutely adequate to prepare for the maths challenge, for example. In the free courses, you can do a paper, you can practice, you can be ready, and you can get 80% of the benefit perhaps in those free courses. And then for that smaller group of people who want that extra 20% really thorough preparation, there is that upgrade option available. And I'm trying to find ways of making those courses available on a reasonable cost as well, by having ways of paying for it a small amount per month rather than all up front, for example. And now if you're a teacher watching this video, or if you've just got something that you know about that you think other people might want to know about as well, I'd really encourage you to give this process of trying to make courses, trying to make videos a go as well. It's a great thing to do. Don't be afraid to put something out there. I've put some content out there that initially hasn't always been great. It's better just to put something out there, see what the response is, and then to try and make a better version of it later as you go along. And the platform that I've been using to do that is the Thinkific platform. I've been really impressed with it. Right from the beginning of having ways of getting started without having to pay for it, I think they had the best free trial out of all of them, where you could really get a whole course going, and you could even start charging for it before you had to pay for Thinkific's own pricing plans. And I've only had to upgrade to those as the number of students has grown, as I've wanted to add more options, and as it's made sense. And so it's been, as a business, something that has been profitable in that sense from the very beginning, and you don't have to put a lot of upfront investment in the platform. Of course, there is a cost in video equipment if you need that to make what you're doing, but actually you can get quite a long way these days with a smartphone if you've got one already, and a little bit of lighting and not too much else, and you can come up with a good quality content. Thinkific are not sponsoring this video at all, but I am a Thinkific affiliate, so if you use my link in the description below, I will get some benefit there from you being attached to me as a referral. And if you do go on to buy paid plans in the future, you'll be contributing to this channel as well. But mostly, I would love for you to use that platform to turn what you know into a good product for students, whether that's a free one or a paid for product. And I really hope that you find that useful. Perhaps if you want, I would make some more videos about creating courses and that process in the future. If that's something you'd find useful, I'll think about doing that. So do let me know in the comments if you've got any questions about that. So what else has happened with Mathsaurus over the last year? We've got the Discord server that's up and running now. There's hundreds of students over there, totally free to join that server, of course, and you can ask your questions to other students. I do sometimes pop in there and answer questions myself, but there's loads of students there, GCSE students, A-level students, undergrads, even some PhD students, some of my friends in there occasionally, and a few teachers around answering questions as well. So do have a look at that if Discord is something you use. I think it's a great resource, and you can learn a lot by helping other people as well, by going in and answering other students' questions and just engaging in a dialogue and feeling a part of a community that's doing maths together is really, really powerful. I've also given the main website a bit of a tidy up as well. I hope it's a slightly better experience using that there. All the pages that were there are still there. There's a few new ones with information about maths challenges and past grade boundaries and things like that. And the main edition is all the links to the new online courses, of course, because that's the main thing I've been working on. And I think that's the plan for the next year as well. You'll see a few more online courses. I'm looking at making something for 11 plus preparation, which is something that I have a lot of expertise in. So for perhaps slightly younger students than usually watch this channel, but there'll also be more content for GCSE and A-level maths and around the maths challenges too. At the moment we've got an age 10 to 13 and an age 13 to 16 maths challenge course, so at some point it's likely there'll be an age 16 to 18 maths course as well, targeting the senior challenge and other courses like that. There's already the free course, Get Ready for the Senior Maths Challenge, and there are free courses for the maths challenges all the way from age 10 from the primary competition up to the senior maths challenge, including some of the follow-on Kangaroo and Olympiad rounds for the younger groups at the moment. So there'll certainly be more content like that. I'll be putting a lot of that out on YouTube. I'm looking at a few other things. There is a page now on the courses website where you can be an affiliate for Mathsaurus as well. So if you've got a social media following, or you just want to share the courses with friends, people at school, you can earn money from people who go on to buy the paid courses, either a small amount just as a percentage of what people go on to buy, or a slightly larger amount if you want to use those for your own purchase of the Mathsaurus courses. So have a look at that if that's something that you think you would like to do. And I think the nice thing about that is you can actually just share the free courses as well. And if you share the free courses and people take those and one day they upgrade, they're still linked to you, so you don't have to feel like you're trying to sell to people all the time. And I hope that's how the content here comes across as well. Yes, I'm trying to sell things occasionally now, but mostly I'm very happy to be teaching this audience here on YouTube and helping those of you that want to get better at maths, that want to understand it better, do so. So I'm really delighted that you're all here. Thank you so much again for getting us to 25,000 subscribers. Do like this video, do share this and all of the other content around. It really is the best thing you can do to help me. I'd love this to get to an even bigger audience, and so let's see what numbers we can get to over the next 12 months. Perhaps if you want, you can also guess what number of subscribers we'll get to in 1 year's time in the comments below, and we can have a look back and see how your predictions do, and I'll make another video this time next year perhaps. But for now, whether you're here as a student preparing for maths challenges or exams, as a teacher, as a parent, anyone else, thank you so much for being here, and good luck with your studies, and I hope I'll see you again in an online course or another video sometime very soon.